Hey dudes, CI here. So I want to get all music nerdy and I want to talk about Pearl Jam and Green Day. Recently, I listened to an entire podcast where they interviewed a couple guys from Pearl Jam, and then I watched a Pearl Jam documentary. It was about their, I think it was called like Pearl Jam 20. It was about their 20th year, just the history and all that stuff. So I had a lot of thinking about Pearl Jam in my life. And in the podcast, the guy was talking about the new album. They just came out with a new album, and the podcaster was listening to it. And he was like, "Man, I was amazed how good this album is. It was just really, really top notch." So I went and I listened to the album. It was okay. And Pearl Jam, almost all their albums are okay. Okay, let's back up. Let's talk about Pearl Jam at the beginning. Pearl Jam started out in 1991 when they released the album 10. Now, I cannot overstate how good this album is. It's transcendent. It's unbelievable start to finish. It's so freaking good. It's Hall of Fame. After that, they came out with the album Versus and the album Vitology. And both these albums were good, very almost very good. They had very good moments and they were definitely good. They weren't transcendent anyway. Since then, they've come out with one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and now eight albums. And they're all okay. You know, they had two really good albums, one transcendent album, and then a whole bunch of okay albums. Sorry, but that just does not get me excited. That does not tell me that you are a relevant band. Let's look at Green Day now. Green Day started just a little bit before Pearl Jam, like a year before them, and they came out with two albums that were nothing special. 39 Smooth and Kerplunk were just okay, no big deal. And then in 1994, they came out with Dookie, which was their masterpiece. Just like Pearl Jam's album 10 was transcendent, Dookie was transcendent. Start to finish, it was Hall of Fame good. Now, what happened after that? Album that was pretty good, another album was pretty good. They had a series of albums that were good, and they had at least one or two songs on it that were kick-ass. And then 2004, which was a good 10 years after Dookie, they put out American Idiot. Transcendent album. Unbelievable. Shook up the American culture. There's a Broadway play. There is a musical on Broadway about this album. And it was 10 years after their masterpiece, Dookie. Pearl Jam cannot claim that. 10 years after Pearl Jam's transcendent album, they didn't put out another one. They were one and done. American Idiot came 10 years after the start, and it was incredible. And then they went back to making albums. One, two, three, four, five. I'm looking at five albums, six albums since American Idiot. Every single one of them had at least two songs on it that were utterly kick-ass. Can Pearl Jam say the same? No. I just listened to their brand new album. It did not have a single song on it that was utterly kick-ass. Green Day's most recent album, Father of All Motherfuckers, that has some songs. That's got a couple songs on it that are just incredible. Pearl Jam cannot claim that. Pearl Jam put out one incredible album, two very good albums, and then a whole bunch of okay. Green Day has had at least two transcendent albums and a whole bunch of good ones. Even today, 2020, they're still putting out unbelievable music. So, Pearl Jam, sorry to tell you this, but you are no longer relevant to the world of rock and roll. Green Day, you most definitely are. Green Day has had a better career than Pearl Jam. They are more relevant, they are more important, and they are a better band than Pearl Jam. And that is my unpopular opinion.